Let's talk about why communication is important with your manager. To find the answer, let's map out some of the main causes. And this is my favorite method to dig deeper into some of the root causes behind the symptom itself. And speaking of symptoms, let's consider this one for instance. Having a bad boss can be a life-changing experience for many employees. Fear, vulnerability, and trust comes into question when an individual is struggling to communicate with their manager. Work-life balance becomes a huge risk, and morale starts to drop. Employees eagerly wait for the weekend instead of waking up excited and looking forward to Mondays. So why is communication so important between an employee and their managers? And the first factor behind the symptom is managers sometimes may assume that an employee will raise their hand if they needed help. So this can be something that managers try to be cautious about with their employees because they don't want to bother them and sometimes assume that employees will come on their own if they needed help. And one of the reasons behind it is because leaders, especially with a lack of people management experience, may make certain wrongful assumptions and try not to bother employees even when they should carve out some time to offer or provide assistance. And also, seasoned managers who have an open door policy may see that some of their employees are leveraging that privilege and they wrongfully assume that every employee is comfortable coming through the door for help, right? And this was the first factor. Now, factor number two is employees usually prefer to let the manager dictate the conversation. So think about it. Employees also don't want to bother their leaders or their managers who may have too many things on their plate already. So why is that? And that's because employees who have worked for strict managers in the past may not know how their current boss or current manager may react to unsolicited ideas and even suggestions. And also, since managers evaluate employee performances, some employees don't feel comfortable speaking out of turn and they don't want to risk tampering their image in front of their leaders, right? Now let's talk about the final factor and its root causes on why communication is so important with your manager, yet we struggle to find the balance is because the manager and employee relationships have traditionally been more reactive than proactive. So why is that? And that's because employees who are more risk averse may be afraid of managing up and owning the relationship. And they may be afraid of bothering their managers by being proactive and instead they don't want to ruffle any feathers, right? And finally, reactive managers who don't have the time to proactively develop people often find it difficult to build a strong and trusting relationship with an employee. And this is what the big picture mapping looks like. So feel free to take a screenshot. And here is my one question to you. What do you think will fix these 6 root causes? Share your thoughts by leaving a comment below. Now, if you want to see more videos like this, help me by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this video with a friend. I will see you in the next problem solving video.